So today I'm going to be talking to you about grilling tips, and we're actually going to cook a pizza in my Char-Broil smoker roaster grill. I'm getting some helpful tips from my mom. I'm over at her house right now about some of the various aspects of making a pizza, and I'm going to actually smoke pizza. First thing is I got my tray here, and I'm using a stick of butter. I'm going to grease the tray with the butter. So the oil will tend to just kind of drift and separate and whatnot, and this will help give it a nice crispness to it, and we'll also add a little bit of flavor to it. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So now I got the tray all nice and greased. I wound up cheating because the butter I pulled out was from the freezer and I wasn't spreading it all, so I wound up using a soft butter and a paper towel to get it spread. But that'll be good. I'm just going to be handling some dough with some flour and getting that all stretched out onto this. I'm going to do something really different too with this pizza. I'm not going to be putting sauce on it until after it is cooked. So the dough is going to go down and the cheese is going to go down. And then we're going to have, once it comes out, some warmed up sauce, so it's not all dried out, be put on top with some Parmesan cheese, and then we're going to go from there. So I'm just going to start working my dough now. I put it on the tray, and it's not really round yet. It's really thick in some areas, really thin in others, and I'm trying to pull into those thin areas and push out to the outsides where the areas are thick. Trying to get this to be like a, well, pizza shaped, right? That's round. That's my mom. She's running away. She helped me make it look better. I've got my grilling unit out here. Got my temperature gauge so I can find out when that is actually going to get up to temp. Again, they say that it should be 450 degrees, so I'll just bring this with me and keep an eye on it inside. Okay, so I know I said I was going to have the dough and put some cheese down on that and put the sauce on afterwards, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of sauce down on it, just a very little bit. I'm going to spread it kind of thin with a spatula, and then I'll put the cheese down, waiting for the temp to get up on the grill. It's been about 5 minutes. It's already up to 352 degrees, so it's getting there. Hope we can get the temp. Like I was saying, a very thin layer of sauce spread with a spatula. And I'm going to throw that cheese on there now. And then, let's see, my temperature is actually at 436. So, and then this is just like 1 minute later. So, it's starting to look like a pizza. It is. So, I've got temps now running at 494. I'm going to actually have to go out and turn that down. I've got the grill turned all the way down, and the temperatures are fluctuating between 475, 480. So that's probably about the coldest it's going to get, unless I prop the lid, which I don't want to do because then you start to lose all the smoke. And part of the reason for doing this is to be able to get nice smoky flavor with that pizza. As a kid, we used to go out to camp, and sometimes we had pizza Friday nights when we were heading out, and Saturday we would have some embers left in the fireplace going. We'd get that fire roaring again. We had this grate that was normally for cooking burgers. We'd throw a couple slices in, heat it up over the fire, and it had a really nice smoky flavor to it. So tempting to get the same kind of flavor profile, but this time just cooking it in the smoker grill. And again, that unit is the Char-Broil 3-in-1. They call it the Big Easy. This is the propane version. They have an electric version as well. And the pizza itself actually fits really nicely in there. I tried out the tray to make sure it was going to fit in there before doing it. So I need to get my ambient temperature thermometer out of there and then throw that pizza on. I'm just going to do this real quick. And then I got to set my timer. And I'm going to set it for probably about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to check it to make sure it's doing pretty good. And then, let's see, put this right in there. You can see it fits in there really nicely. And the cover comes down, and we're ready to go. So I got the sauce on the stove, just on a really low flame. And so it'll be nice and warm. I'm going to put that on the pizza when it comes out, and I'm going to spread that around with a spatula a little bit thicker on the top. And then I got some Romano Parmesan cheese to sprinkle on top of that. It's going to add a lot of nice flavor to that. I'm going to have you come with me and take a peek and see how things are looking on the grill. So let's go out and take a look. You ever wonder what my garage looks like? Now you know. Okay, so let's take a peek together. It's starting to look like pizza. It's looking like it's still doughy. Hi, everybody. So I was going to take you out. The pizza timer went off, and then my phone died, and I need to go check on it. So I went out to look, and it still doesn't look like it's done yet. So I'm turning up the heat a little bit, adding a little bit more time. I'm going to be checking it periodically. Reminder, get a new battery for my phone. So I just checked on it again. It's been probably about another 3 minutes. It's starting to brown a little bit, starting to look good. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, but it's coming out nice. The timer was up for the additional 5 minutes, and I went out and checked it, and still doesn't look quite ready enough yet. So I turned up the heat on there, set another 3 minutes, and I'm going to check it again and see how that's going. Hey, how you doing? I used cherry wood, so flavor profile wise, I don't think it's going to be too overpowering, but I think it's just going to add and lend that just extra little bit of flavor that it's going to make it really nice. So we'll see. Okay, so this is a nice looking pie. I'm going to let it cool down just a little bit. I brought the tray in right off the grill using an oven mitt. Burned my fingers a little bit. So I'm going to have to come up with something better for that. But it's looking really good. It's smelling really good. Okay, so I was checking the crust before putting some sauce on there and noticed that it's still a little doughy and the thick edges around the crust. You know, I may not have flattened everything out. The bottom of the pizza looks browned nice. So since I tore down everything with my smoker grill and put everything away while I was waiting for the pizza to cool down, I decided, okay, you know what, I'm firing up the oven. I'm going to set it to broil, so it'll get heat from the top. It won't burn the bottom. And maybe get rid of some of that doughiness. You know, just crisp it up a little bit. All right, so I gave it a little bit more time in the oven, and it's looking pretty good. I can actually show you what it looks like. Alexa, stop. She likes to remind me of things. So I'm just going to spread some sauce on this. And get some Parmesan cheese on there. That's looking really good. And it's just got to set for a few minutes to cool down. Okay, so this is the pie. I'm going to cut it up and going to get it into slices, and we're going to try a few slices and let you know how it is.
It's definitely yum.
Alright, I'm going to try it for the first time, my first bite, and see how this is.
Really good.
That's so different, so good. It definitely has that smoky flavor. It might be a little bit strong, but I think it's delicious. I think it's a winner, and I think it's something I'll do again in the future. I'll just have to get the timings down a little bit better. It's like I said, I had to finish it off in the oven because it was still just a little bit doughy. The first run of trying to make a pizza, I think this was a pretty good success.
Yep.
And
oh yeah.
So we have some agreement on that. And if you'd like to try some of my famous smoky upside down pizza, you can place your orders now for that. And well, who knows when I'll get around to it, but I'll try to make you one.